If you've watched any of my jump videos, you know that I believe the most important concept when learning how to jump is understanding how your body mass controls the arc. Just a few weeks ago, I posted this video. Guys, can you have the upload team put that in the description, the link? And tell them, I swear, if they put anything about their payroll. Now in that video, what I do is I introduce how you get the feel of how your body mass controls the arc on a very small feature, just a roller. Super safe, super easy. And I talk about the importance of learning that early in your jumping journey. In this video here, this is kind of a continuation of that, except in this video, we're going to take that concept and apply it to the air. And you are gonna find that when you get more comfortable and relaxed controlling your arc in the air with your body mass, that it'll make you a more confident jumper, a more consistent jumper. You'll be able to jump all sorts of different types of jumps. And when you're more relaxed in your arc, you're going to find that learning tricks in the air is going to be so much easier. So let's get this journey started. Quick exercise, super easy. You don't need big jumps. Let's do it. 3, 2, 1. Check. So here we are, we have kind of a small to medium-sized tabletop. Now you can do this on a very, very small jump. But most importantly, you want to do it on a jump that you are comfortable on, that you can clear consistently, and that you feel like you can kind of experiment a little bit on. So the concept we're going to discuss in this video is the idea of opening up into your arc, opening up into the air, relaxing, being proud, extending tall into our jump. So often I see riders crouch down and speed through their arc. It's a very tight position that they hold, and if you're racing and you're scrubbing a jump or squashing a jump, that's a great position. But new jumpers, typically that's the only position that they have, and what that does is it just cuts their arc off, and it limits them in the types of jumps that they can handle. Additionally, it makes you real tense. You're tense, you're strong, you're a bowling ball just flying through the air, and you're really at the whim of whatever the transition can provide for you. This is going to break that habit. So let's talk about doing that and what that looks like. So first and foremost, you need to know that when I talk about extension, it happens up into the air. It doesn't happen up the transition. Now, the extension starts on the transition. You're gonna start extending, but the extension, the openness, the strong chest, the strong shoulders that I talk about happens as you transition into the air. So here's what we're going to do. I'm gonna show you what that extension looks like. We're just gonna plop on top of the tabletop. I'm a firm believer that plopping on top is a great technique to work up to clearing things. Once I show you the extension, what it's supposed to look like, I'm gonna talk about what you don't wanna do. Here we go. So that's what it looks like in its most basic foundational form, but there's actually a little bit more to it. Okay, so the first thing is we don't want to just pogo straight into the air, pop straight up like we're prairie dogging it or we're just, popping on a pogo stick. Instead, what we want to do is we want to make sure that it starts with our hips back a little bit and we're a little bit hinged. And when you extend, it's going to extend in a more controlled, aggressive position, because really what's going to happen is we're going to extend and we're gonna drive our shoulders forward and then down into the landing. So what we wanna do is extend as much as we can in control without dead sailoring. And we can do that because we're going to bring our shoulders forward and down. So we're going to kind of like drive that arc with our shoulders. We're gonna go up and forward and down. It's gonna give us a really controlled arc with our body mass. It's gonna really reduce the risk of dead sailors, and you're gonna really learn what your body mass can do when you drive the momentum of your body mass into the arc. So let's look at it again in slow motion. So as I did that and plopped on top, what I was really thinking about in my mind was strong legs up the jump, extending strong and up into my arc, not going up the transition, but into my arc, but then driving my shoulders forward and down to meet the landing. What that's going to do is it's going to allow me to embrace the landing and have a really controlled, well-balanced landing. Even when I'm plopping on top here, or if I'm going to knuckle, if I'm centered and balanced and strong, I can absorb that. So when my shoulders are forward, my hips are hinged, I can absorb that. If you extend upward, you pogo stick extend, and you're stuck here in the air, that's not gonna work. You could dead sailor. If you're too far back off the transition, you could get bucked, and then your shoulders are really gonna go forward. And when it comes to landing like this, you are not balanced, my friend, to land. So you're gonna bounce when you land. So as you work on this, extend as much as you can, controlled, and into the landing, even if you're plopping on top. What you're going to find is if you're having issues with dead sailors, now I'm gonna do a video on dead sailors here coming up, so make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss that. So what you're going to find is that when you extend into your arc with your body mass, your body's always controlling the arc. It's always finding balance. It's proactively controlling the balance. And because of that, you're going to really reduce your risk of dead sailors. But we're gonna get into that in a future video. So now what we wanna do is we wanna ABC, always be critical. Film yourself. Were you extended and were you balanced? Were you back too far teetering? As you ABC yourself, you're going to really then clean up that technique before you get to bigger jumps or you commit to clearing perhaps a tabletop this size. So let's work up a little bit more speed and we'll work toward clearing it. Here we go, a little more speed. So there we go, I added a little bit more speed. I don't know if it actually made me travel farther or higher, but I'm questioning that, and that's important because that's the ABC method that will help you improve. So there we go, I got closer to the knuckle definitely there. I even knuckled it. Yeah, the other cool thing is this. So a lot of people talk about rowing the bike, actively rowing the bike in the air. I don't mention that too much because my technique with, driving with your shoulders, the row is a natural motion. You can't not row when you pull your shoulders forward and your chin and chest go forward. It's just completely natural. The problem when you tell somebody to row is that they'll then try to work that rowing motion into the progression of the jump. And oftentimes they'll row too early and it'll really throw them forward. It'll throw them crooked into a dead sailor, or they'll worry about rowing too late and then they land unbalanced. The beauty of controlling the arc with your shoulders and driving, extending, having a beautiful chest into the air, the beauty in that is that you row naturally. It just comes naturally, you don't even have to think about it. Yo, all right, so here is the setup that I'm working with. I have to apologize because I don't feel like I got good angles and my angles are limited because of, we're on kind of like a bench cut slope here. What we have here is a 3-jump line. The jump that I was just filming from the side on is the second jump. We're gonna go slow because what I wanna do is show you how this chest propulsion theory can help you gain momentum, gain distance in the air. And all it is just using that big, beautiful chest to extend into your arc and control your arc. So we're going pretty slow here. Here we go, 1. Here we go, 2. Here's the third one, 3. All I did was just extend into the air. Yo, beautiful chest people. I have a problem and I need your help. I'm not asking too much of you. I don't ever ask anything of you. But here's the thing. I have members in my family that don't think mountain biking is really that cool. And what I do here on the tube, they think is interesting. They know I go somewhere and do it, but they really don't think that it's that cool. But I have a specific family member. She's learning about world history right now. And I think it would be super cool. And she would think that it's super impressive if I could show her a list in the comments of all the places in the world where people are watching this video. Maybe then she might start thinking that I'm a little bit cooler than I am off the camera.